Good evening, Facebook world, and a big hello to all you Marlin fans out there. Jason Seward, Assistant Vice President for Student Affairs here at Virginia Wesleyan University and a 2005 graduate. Back with you for now our third installment of Ask Me Anything with Dr. Miller, President of Virginia Wesleyan University. Sir, it is so nice to be here with you again.
Good to be here with you again too, Jason.
You know, I am really enjoying our time together. Just me and you time. I think of us like
quality.
I think of us like Poncho and Lefty, or Roy Rogers and Trigger, Sonny and Cher, of course.
Sonny and Cher. How about Cheech and Chong?
I'll take that as a
take
compliment,
that?
sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Which one's Cheech?
Folks, we are coming to you live tonight from the Greer Environmental Sciences Center. And folks, if you haven't seen this place yet, what a building it is. Between our sessions tonight, there's going to be a video that's going to show you about all the things that this facility offers. It is spectacular.
Award-winning.
Beautiful. Just look behind us here. Campus is busy beyond what you can even believe. Just yesterday, we welcomed our latest class of incoming first-year students and their families for move-in day, and what is the start of Marlin Nation Orientation 102. This is probably one of my favorite times of year. Don't you love it?
It sure is. You know, starting about a week to 10 days ago, the athletes arrived.
Right.
And, you know, all the fall teams are undefeated.
That's
There's
right,
a lot
so
of
far.
bubbling enthusiasm as far as everybody they call home and say they're all starting and
That's
they're all
right.
having
Perfect
great
season.
seasons, and the energy that comes with it
Yes, sir.
is just phenomenal.
Perfect season is intact, that's for sure. Our upperclassmen will come back on Tuesday. Then classes will start first thing Wednesday morning, and before you know it, we'll be carving turkey and getting ready for holiday break.
Got it.
It's going to move really quickly. So again, folks, welcome. We're glad to have you tonight. Sir, we are fresh off the heels of your State of the University address, which took place last Friday here on campus. If you missed it, you can log onto our website and check the recorded version there. Why don't you share some highlights from that with our viewers?
Sure. Well, this is a really exciting time at Virginia Wesleyan University, and we have so many wonderful people, so many wonderful programs, and so many wonderful new facilities. The theme of the event was growth, innovation, and prosperity, and I'm so pleased that Virginia Wesleyan is experiencing all three of those in an extremely difficult time for American higher education. You know, to see that our enrollment for the second year in a row hit a record high, 1,673 students enrolled in classes this past year. The growth of our graduate program, now over 100 students enrolled in our Master of Business Administration and Master of Arts in Education program. You know, to have that kind of enrollment growth speaks to the quality of the people and the quality of the institution. We celebrated, again, we've had $68 million of new construction in recent years. The completion of the Beacon, beautiful new icon on the campus, the dedication of the Good Center, and the opening of Town Bank Park for our two-time national championship softball team. Just an amazing venue, and we look forward to the groundbreaking was held this summer for Oxford Village, the new 8-building, 248-unit mixed-use residential housing complex on the north end of the campus. And we were so thrilled to have with us local real estate magnate and social activist Harvey Lindsay, who was pleased to announce a $250,000 gift to Virginia Wesleyan to expand African American studies and to develop a mentorship program for our minority students. You know, it's remarkable that out of the National Liberal Arts category, that Virginia Wesleyan is 19th in the nation among national liberal arts institutions in diversity. And this gift from Mr. Lindsay will help us better serve our students. So, an exciting time. You know, I guess the fifth big announcement was that we're entering the esports arena, a new billion-dollar industry nationwide and something that's growing on college campuses. A couple of our ODAC friends have started the program, and it not only is a wonderful new sport, an entertaining new sport, but it also attracts top students in information systems, technology, engineering, they get into the esports arena.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned for more on
The
that.
campus was really buzzing after that announcement on Friday. Several students came up and said, "Where do I sign up? Where do I sign up?" I said, "Just be patient. More information."
Actually, I had emails from other schools asking me if we could schedule competition.
Hey, let's
So
go.
let's bring it on.
That's
Bring
absolutely
it
right.
on.
Now, you mentioned the construction project across the street, Coastal 61 in Oxford Village. It is progressing nicely. It really looks nice over there. Professor Emeritus Barry Lipscomb wrote in and asked about the creation process for a project kind of that magnitude.
Sure, this has been something that's been discussed for over 10 years now. And when I arrived here as president in 2015, we decided to do a comprehensive analysis. The piece of land on the north side of Wesleyan Drive is an awkward shape. It's connected to a residential community, church on one end and houses on the other. And so we sought the input of expert consultants, one out of Pennsylvania and another out of Maryland, to see what would be best suited for that land. And then we had 4 town hall meetings to discuss it with our neighbors, to get their input, to discuss it with the campus community. And we decided that building mixed-use student housing, it'll be beautiful architecture, 3- and 4-story buildings. The gating and the perimeter fencing will match the campus. And it'll be something that not only will serve upper-level students, graduate students, and international students, but the community as a whole. We would expect to see some retirees from Virginia Wesleyan, some young coaches and young faculty who want to live near the campus. Right. We think it'll be quite attractive.
No, it certainly, from the drawings, it's going to blend in well.
Yeah, and that was an intentional strategy. The Board of Trustees, as we brought this to closure, we didn't just go with a national developer and look at it as a business proposition. We went with the Franklin Johnston Group, the 2 lead partners in that firm. One's a graduate of Virginia Wesleyan. The other is a former member of our Board of Trustees, and they wanted to make sure that the construction blended with the campus, that it was sensitive to the many issues of our campus and the adjacent community. And I think the design that we've seen has been embraced by the Planning Commission, the City Council, and our wonderful neighbors in the L&J Gardens community that will back up that.
Right. And so, I'm most excited about the bowling alley.
Yeah, swimming pool,
yeah.
Bowling alley,
so any of you
entertainment.
alum out there, if you want to challenge me to bowling, just sign up.
Lunchtime challenge.
Lessons.
There
That's
you go.
Right. That's
there
right.
you go.
Denise Christian, mother of sophomore Miles Christian, asked a question. She said, "Hey, can you speak about the upcoming renovations and updates to our dining facilities that are in the plans?"
Yeah, sure. About 6 months ago, we had 3 donors who stepped up and thought that the private dining section of the Boyd Dining Hall needed some refresh. And so over the past 6 months, that's gone through a massive renovation, and it motivated another donor to make a $1.3 million gift for the main dining center and also for the Marlin Grill. And so we've been working with architects who specialize in dining facilities on college campuses. You know, unfortunately, the gift came during July and August in a period when you just can't throw something like this together and do it right. So we're looking at probably January term to do the renovation and refresh of the Marlin Grill, and then I would guess that probably next summer we'll go in and do a massive overhaul of the east and west dining wing of the facility and also the main service area as well. The preliminary plans that I've seen have been absolutely beautiful. When you look at all the studies that are out there, college students see the dining center as a social venue.
Absolutely.
And this will be a wonderful opportunity for students to have a bright, modern, well-designed facility to meet their needs.
That's fantastic. I know we've made a couple small changes already, and already the amount of natural light that comes in there just makes it so inviting.
It does.
I know that Tim Lockett, our Director of Dining Services, he's always happy to talk about anything food. In fact, he has a group of students called the Culinary Council that provide feedback on all things food, Virginia Wesleyan.
Right. He seeks the input of the students. Dining preferences have changed since the days that you and I were students.
Right.
And what we're trying to do and what Tim's trying to do as our Director of Dining Services is to be more responsive to what student needs are.
So I think what I'm hearing is that this is a good time for me to put a plug in for a chocolate fountain if we wanted.
You really think you need one?
I think that would be a great addition.
So that means Part B would be an addition to the fitness center as
yes,
well.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Second floor.
There you go. There you go.
In addition to some updates on our dining facilities, alum Taylor Hannon asked about plans and updates here for some of our older residential facilities.
Yeah, we have just completed in the last 2 weeks a a 10-month process of renovating Bray Village, which is the original housing village on the campus dating back to the 1960s, and it was a bit tired. And we're fortunate that we procured private dollars to go in and sort of like dominoes, move from one building to another over the past almost a year to do refreshes to the building. And the biggest thing being that we didn't just do a bath fitters rework of the restroom facilities, we went in and gutted them. Right. Took it right down, the walls all came down, the pipes and plumbing all went, and all new plumbing, tile, fixtures, and air circulation were added to all the restrooms to provide a more modern, comfortable, and aesthetically pleasing environment. And then as you walk down the halls, they've been brightened with some nice painting and refresh there as well. And you know, you can never take an old building and make it entirely new, but it is now nice, usable, and more fits the
It's
the
fresh,
campus
the
environment.
colors are great, it really enhances that space, the new HVAC system. It's just really, really an enjoyable space. New paint in the hallways, lots of updates. So if you haven't been here in a while, it doesn't look the same, so come on back. It's no secret that you're constantly flying the VWU flag anywhere, here locally, across the country, around town. You're so involved with local organizations like Virginia Beach Chamber, Hampton Roads Chamber, excuse me, Virginia Beach Vision, the Aquarium. Nationwide, you're with the National Association of Schools, Colleges, and Universities of the Methodist Church, Second Nature's Climate Leadership Network. I mean, I could go on and on. So tell us a little bit about how your involvement at that level in those organizations impacts the university and our students.
Sure, they elevate the visibility and reputation of the institution. I still go back to 2015, the board chair at the time said to me, we're a well-kept secret and we don't want to be.
That's right.
We want to be out there more actively in the community, interacting with like-minded organizations. And you know, the partnership with the Aquarium is one of 18 active partnerships that we have that are designed as value addeds for our students' educational experiences. You know, that's part of living in coastal Virginia. Being on the Virginia Beach Norfolk line is to take advantage of those things that schools out in the western part of the state don't have because they don't have location.
Location. Yes, sir.
And so being involved in these organizations also gives me the opportunity to interact with business leaders in the community, to talk about internships for our students, to talk about how they can become engaged as sponsors and donors for individual programs, how they can underwrite the Opus program, the scholarship fund, and how it helps create a visibility where their employees can come back to school through our university college or even through VWU online. Many benefits to being actively engaged with our campus community.
One thing's for sure, you are flying that flag and you are all over this country. I want some of your airline miles, please.
Good luck with that.
All right. Well, sir, we're coming to an end of our time here this evening, but you know what time it is. Your favorite time, my favorite time, that's the rapid fire round.
Your favorite time.
Yours
you
too.
Sure it's mine too?
You wrote me a note.
Okay.
That's where I send you a series of questions and you give me fast answers as quick as you can. So you ready?
Okay, we'll give it a shot.
All right, here we go. Number one, favorite animal?
Partial to small dogs, but how can you be at Virginia Wesleyan and not like the Marlins?
That's right.
Gotta be a Marlin.
It's a majestic beast. Favorite junk food?
We'll go with Reese cups.
Okay.
Prefer
Frozen,
to have them refrigerated.
There you go. A
Yeah.
little chilled to them.
Goes with your chocolate fountain.
Last Halloween costume?
Oh boy. An Abraham Lincoln mascot suit.
And why was that?
Because at the time I was president of Lincoln Memorial University.
I'd like to see in that stovepipe
Yeah,
hat.
I'll share pictures.
All right. Say good day, mate, in your best Australian accent.
You just did it for me. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. How many cups of coffee do you drink a day?
8. Those big
64 ounces? First sale in the
stay
university
caffeinated.
store,
There you
right?
go. There you go.
That's right. Insulated or not. What's something you could eat for a week straight?
Pasta.
With or without meatballs?
Without.
Okay, like he likes his pasta. How would you rate your karaoke skills on a scale of 1 to Mariah Carey?
I topped the scales on that one.
Billboard charts,
Bingo.
baby. And last one. Do Marlins have teeth?
No.
That's
And if any of our
total
alumni
question.
out there have apparel with the old
That's right.
mascot with teeth traded in at the
Traded in
university
program.
store.
That's right. Well, sir, as always, it's an absolute pleasure with you.
Thank you, Jason.
I enjoy this. Thanks for a glimpse into all things Virginia Wesleyan, some highlights, and having some fun. You know, I really enjoy that we get out of the office, we can sit here and connect with Marlin Nation. Mark your calendars now. Homecoming Family Weekend 2019 is October 4, 5, and 6 here on campus. More information can be found on the university website under the Alumni tab. Don't go away. After this video that highlights the Greer Environmental Sciences Center, Dr. Miller is going to be back for a very environmentally focused conversation with a group of guests, very special guests from our faculty, Deidre Gonzalez-Jackson, Elizabeth Malcolm, and Bill McConnell, and as well as one of our partners from the Norfolk Botanical Garden, Mr. Brian O'Neill. So if we didn't get to your question, please be sure to send it to officeofthepresident@vwu.edu, and we'll be sure to get back to you, we promise. Again, I thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure, sir.
Thank
and
you,
as
Jason.
always, go Marlins.
It's wonderful. It's like having a building out in nature, and they've brought nature to the building. I smile every day I come in here, and everybody does, right? I mean, you can't walk into this lobby and not smile.
Schools that are between 800 and 3,000 or 4,000 students have a certain sense about them. They're, the sense of place, the way the buildings come together around the campus, and the way that the faculty and students interact is pretty special, and that relationship is really what motivates us and drives a lot of the work.
Our participation in the design process was instrumental to making the facility what it is, because we worked with the architects and the designers to actually let them know what we needed within the facilities, and they were often able to find ways that were not only functionally fantastic, but that were aesthetically nice to meet our needs, and so it's been, I think it was a good partnership, worked out well.
The most amazing things about the building to me has been the effect on the campus as a whole. It has become a gathering place for students of not just science students, but students from all disciplines. Various spaces have become student habitats, places we didn't even think. They spread out and study in the labs when no one's using the labs, which is unheard of in science labs, really.
The lab space is fantastic. It's lit. It's not your typical chemistry lab, which is usually pretty enclosed. And adding this building with the set of stormwater ponds that surround it, knowing the sources of the water, what the flow patterns are, and all that has been fantastic, because we use it in research all the time now. And in fact, it's helped me collaborate with some of my other colleagues.
I think this space has really sort of transformed this university on a lot of different levels. We have students that are coming to me with these independent research projects that we could never have done before, that we can now do using the space and the tools that are in this building.
The first step of the scientific method is observation. And so just simply seeing things around you leads you to ask the questions and form the hypotheses and stimulates your curiosity to get you thinking and get you investigating. It's inspiring our students to connect with the natural world. Having students walk through this portal and seeing the native landscaping that's around, it catches your eye and it catches their excitement.
You can't avoid this building. You can't avoid the activities in this building, no matter where you are on the campus. And the things that we're really trying to do is to get people to truly experience science, even if they're not taking a course or enrolled in this program, but that they, just by being nearby, find themselves touched by it and immersed in the environment. This building has completely changed the perception of what this Virginia Wesleyan is.
When you're teaching environmental science, to be able to do it in an environment where you can see everything outside it's exciting. It causes you to be really more engaged in even what you're teaching and learning, and we've seen that already just in this first year.
Welcome back. Now joining me for the second part of the program is Deirdre Gonzalez Jackson, Associate Professor of Biology and Director of January Term and Summer Session. Welcome, Deirdre. Elizabeth Malcolm, Professor of Ocean and Atmospheric Sciences and Director of Campus Sustainability. Bill McConnell, Associate Professor of Education and Director of the Teacher Education Program. And Brian O'Neill, the Virginia Wesleyan University and Norfolk Botanical Garden Director of Living Landscapes. Brian, we welcome you as well. Let me turn to you first, Elizabeth. As the Campus Sustainability Director, you've led the development of our Climate Action Plan. Student Ashley Rorman asks if we have a goal year set for carbon neutrality, and talk a little bit about that plan.
Yes, we do, and we actually, because of the urgency of the problem, we actually moved the date up by 10 years this spring to 2040. And we have a three-pronged approach to try to tackle this problem. One is to increase energy efficiency on campus, reducing energy demands such as more efficient HVAC systems, which will also save money. Another is increasing renewables like Greer Center here with the geothermal and the solar. And then the other is going to be to implement offset mechanisms like planting trees, which will take up carbon from the atmosphere.
Terrific, and we're one of 440 institutions nationwide, small and large, public and private, that are actively engaged in addressing this issue.
Leading the way with our students.
We have a question that just came in from Michelle Pluto. She asks, what would be, she's a parent of a current student, what would the best master's program for a student majoring in environmental science and minoring in marine biology and English?
That's a great combination. You could do a lot of things
with it. Because I'm looking at it trying to think myself.
Well, you could do a lot of things with that. You know, in the environmental sciences and environmental studies is so broad. There's so many ways you can go. We've had students go to graduate school in environmental engineering, environmental science, oceanography, marine biology, and then they've gone on to work in, you know, stormwater, wetlands restoration, water quality. There's a lot of ways you can go. And one nice thing about Virginia Wesleyan is that we work with our students, you know, throughout their whole career here, really trying to find out what are their passions and interests, and then helping them figure out, you know, what's the best graduate program that'll match up with that.
But what you're really
interest.
saying out of that message is that Michelle and her student did a great job
Yes.
of picking an institution for an undergraduate education that has the best facilities and
Yep.
the best faculty.
Yep.
Terrific. Let me transition to Bill. Bill, this summer, along with Deirdre and Elizabeth, you led our Environmental Institute Summer Scholars Program for rising ninth grade girls. Can you tell us a little bit more about that program?
Love to. For the past 2 years, we have been extremely grateful for funding from an anonymous donor for a program for rising ninth grade girls who are already interested in environmental science and are performing really well in the sciences and math. So what we did was we developed a program that really mitigates some of the issues that females will have going from middle school to high school. What we've found in research and education research is even though girls are at this time performing better than boys in middle school science in many cases, they tend to turn away from their passions and their interest in high school for certain reasons, many reasons. So we developed a curriculum that sort of helps to mitigate that. And one of the things we did was, of course, we brought in female mentor scientists to work with the groups on their specific interests. And we also partnered with people like Botanical Gardens to show exactly what a career in environmental science could look like.
Yeah, I was visiting with the Chesapeake Bay Foundation staff, and they were bragging about the program and talking about wanting to be even more involved than they already are because it's a fascinating program.
It sure is, and I noticed in a couple of the comments that we're feeding down from this, we had a parent already commenting about their daughter having just a great time, and it really is just such a great program. The students stay on campus, and it's a great program for so many reasons because our students in the MAED program are some of the mentors in this program. So Michael Trace, who will graduate with a biology degree and will go in our Master's of Education program, was able to lead lessons in this program, learning on his own, but learning with the students as well. So it really is a benefit to our college students as well as these girls coming to the camp.
Terrific, and thank you for the plug for our new Master of Arts in Education program
Of course,
as well.
of course.
Terrific. Deirdre, you're our Director of January term and summer session here at Virginia Wesleyan, and you've done an excellent job of expanding those programs. I understand there's been a significant increase in participation in VWU online among our traditional 18 to 22-year-old students. Can you talk a little bit about that? And why don't you tag on if there's anything you'd like to add about the Environmental Institute? We'd appreciate that as well. Know your involvement.
So our January term and our summer session, they've provided opportunities for our students to continue their academic program outside of the traditional academic year. And many times students want to get ahead. We have a lot of student athletes on campus, and January term and summer session provide opportunities for them to catch up with their coursework. When they're in season, we find that a lot of them will take a reduced course load because they're so busy with their sports. And so during January session, during summer session, they're able to catch up with those courses. We find that some students want to pick up another minor, and so they can use January term and summer session to do that. So it's an opportunity for students to catch up. It's an opportunity for students to get ahead. We have travel courses that we offer during these times to places like Costa Rica, Berlin, Alaska, which is an environmental science course. And so we really like students to do something that's sort of out of the traditional academic program. What we found with our summer session was that enrollment skyrocketed, and it was just amazing. And we think that this has a lot to do with the offerings that we had the last couple of summers. We've had a diversity of online courses available for students to take. And you know, one of the things about online courses is that it provides a lot of flexibility for both the students and the faculty members. Our students can go home during summer if they want to go home with their parents, if they have a summer job. They're able to do that and continue their academic program. And so in addition to having all these diverse courses on campus, we also have a diversity of online courses, and we think that's why the enrollment has increased so much.
I had a parent tell me that their student was in Boston for the summer, taking a class from a faculty member on campus that they knew, and had the confidence level that if they had a concern or a problem, they could text or call the faculty member because they had this comfort level already.
Yes.
They knew each other, and that the parents were happy because the student was working a wonderful summer job in Boston and yet was still progressing toward their degree in an affordable fashion.
Exactly, and that's the flexibility that I speak about. Being able to go home, being able to continue in your employment, but also have that connection to the university. Hopefully we'll be reaching out to students beyond our campus, and that's one of the benefits of having an online program. So, you know, in addition to the online courses that we've offered, we also have degree programs online. And so this even provides more flexibility. If you already are in a career and you want to continue your education, we have 6 online degree programs that we offer students. And in keeping in line with our environmental theme, what we find is that the degree program in sustainability management and environmental studies have generated the most interest out of our 6 online programs. We have one in business, we have one in social sciences, comprehensive liberal studies, and of course our business is also a master's program. And so what we're finding is that students are able to combine their interest with the environment in an online format, which hasn't always been available to students because it's very difficult to study the sciences online. But we're offering some exciting courses in the environmental sciences, and we hope to increase our reach outside of the university community.
Terrific. Why don't we transition over to Brian for a minute? We're extremely proud of our partnership with the Norfolk Botanical Garden, one that supports our living landscapes and our campus horticultural initiatives, particularly the area surrounding this building. Can you discuss the mutual benefits of our relationship and the learning experiences it provides for our students?
Sure. Well, for the university, the garden provides the expertise to care for this very specialized and unique landscape surrounding the Greer Environmental Sciences Center here. It is very different than what you find on most college campuses, I believe. I just started today with a class, teaching a class at Old Dominion University, and this is far and away so different than anything over there. So we provide that to the university. For the university, I think too, it provides an opportunity to learn about native plants, native ecosystems, the role of water in the landscape, environmentally friendly horticultural practices, how to care for these plants, the wildlife that is attracted to it. It's a mutual benefit for the wildlife and the plants, as well as I think for the students and for Norfolk Botanical Garden.
25,000 native plants. That's pretty remarkable.
Yes, we are trying to cover every square inch of ground here.
It's terrific. The Botanical Garden is just minutes from campus. If not for that airport right in the middle, it would almost be walking distance from the campus, and our students have an opportunity to study there as well. Can you tell us a little bit more for our viewers who may be interested in getting involved in us or involved in the Botanical Garden, or the value addeds for both?
Well, definitely, I think that's an option that needs to be developed a little bit more. There's definitely opportunities for students to study any number of different things at the Botanical Garden. I mean, we're surrounded by a freshwater lake, so there's hydrology involved, there's the wildlife in the lake. We're big on native plants. We're just so many different things. We had a study recently from another college on phenology, which is a study of how plants are differing in their flowering times compared to or related to climate change. So almost anything that has to do with the environment, botany, biology, horticulture, those opportunities are there for the garden. Taking classes that the garden offers, even having garden personnel come to the Greer and offer their take on different subjects. There's lots of things.
We've had a number of our faculty and staff that have said through their memberships that they can go over to the Botanical Garden and do their exercise walking in a beautiful atmosphere. This summer here on campus, we cleared and surfaced some of our trails, the trails at Wesleyan Woods, to show off more of our 300-acre campus and to make it more user-friendly for our surroundings.
Absolutely.
As well.
The Japanese have a term for that. It's called forest bathing. And so this is a really good opportunity to really connect with nature. The forests here are fantastic, old growth beech and oak forests. And it's an opportunity, I think, that a lot of students may not even realize is here.
Yeah, some of our alumni have said they've come back to campus and were just sort of tantalized when they saw the openings of the trail at Brock Village and also at Honors Village, and followed them. And there's about a half-mile surfaced courseway that goes through the woods from Honors Village, that they affectionately know as Village 4, all the way over to Village 3, and then it's also surfaced back to Lake Taylor as well. So come and experience it. Hate to say this, folks, we're out of time, and I want to thank you much for being with us, and also for our alumni and friends who are watching. I encourage our viewers to mark your calendars for homecoming weekend, October 4th through the 6th, and check out the many offerings and events we have all semester long at www.vwu.edu. We hope you visit often and stay involved with the life of the institution. If we didn't get to your questions, we'll be reaching out to you if you provided your contact information, or you can send your questions directly to me at officeofthepresident@vwu.edu. And as always, it's a great day to be a Marlin. Thank you for joining us.